Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we are going to begin our long journey into learning how to make video games in Java. Okay? Now, we can't immediately jump straight into the game development side of Java. We're going to start off with our first couple videos learning Java in general. So these series will be for your beginners to programming who are looking to get into programming specifically for game development. So we're going to revolve our little introduction into Java around game programming. So if you're intermediate or advanced programmer and want to see more game programming, you don't want to see the actual introduction to Java, skip ahead our videos to the next series of videos, which hasn't been made yet, but it will be made, as that is the current plan of action. And I'm sure you'll be happy once you get there. So, for everyone else, all the beginners, I'd like to welcome you to Java. So, with programming, you need a place to write your code. And for Java, we're going to be using Eclipse. Now, the place where you write your code is called an IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It has everything you need to write and compile and export your code so that it's runnable for everyone, right? So you're going to need Eclipse. If you don't know how to get Eclipse, there are videos on YouTube. You can Google Eclipse and you'll find it. It's not a very hard thing to do. And if you can't figure that out, that may be a sign you shouldn't really be getting into programming, as that's basic understandings of how the computers and internet works. Okay? Next thing you're going to need is the Java Sdk. Just make sure it's installed. It might already be installed, but head over to the Java Sdk website, install it, just to be safe. It allows you to compile your Java code, which is, kind of needed. Okay, so once you have all that set up and you opened up your Eclipse and you got rid of that welcome screen, you should see this. And we are going to make our very first Java program in this video. It's kind of the traditional first program that you make in any programming language. We're going to be making Hello World, but we're going to put a little spin on it. So in our Package Explorer, we're going to right click, go to New. We're going to make a new Java project, right? Now if this isn't right here, just go to Project and then type in Java. Hey look, Java project. Okay. Our project name, we're going to call it Game Over. And we don't care about any of the other settings. They're fine. And then we'll just click Finish. Alright. Once it's all set up in our Package Explorer, you should see our Game Over. We're going to click the little arrows next to the Game Over, and we'll see our source. We're going to right click on our source, go to New. We're going to make a new package. Okay? And a package is a place where we store classes. Now we need a name for this. And the way you standardly name class, you can name your packages however you want. This is the way I usually do it. We're going to call it com.majulip.base, right? So just com dot your username or whatever you want. I prefer Majulip, and then base. Then hit enter, and you're done. Okay? Now inside of our package, we're going to right click on it. We go New, and we're going to make a new class. And a class is where the code will actually be stored. We're going to write all of our code. So we're going to I'm going to name this main component, right? As it is going to be the main class of our application. Now, inside of these brackets here, you see where it says public class main component. In between these brackets, we're going to write our first lines of code. We're going to write public static void main Okay, and then in parentheses after that, we'll write capital S string space args, and then square brackets, open and close square brackets. Go to the end of the line, open brace, hit enter, and your close brace or bracket, or however you want to name it. And there we go. Now we're going to write our one line of code inside of that, which will be system.out.println. Right? And inside of that parentheses, we're going to put a quotes, and we're going to put game over. And there we go. You have officially wrote your very first program in Java. Don't worry, I'm going to explain most of this stuff just to get you a general idea of what Java looks like. That's the whole point of this program. So we're going to actually run it now to show you how you run programs in Eclipse. Here at the top, you see the little green circle with the white triangle in the center. When you hover over it, it says run. Just click on that, and it'll ask us if we want to save, and we'll always save resources before launching, and hit OK. And then in the bottom, your console should pop up, and it'll say game over. And there you go. You have your very first program ever written in Java done, completed. Okay, now the fun part. I'm going to try and explain what it is you're exactly seeing here, just so I don't leave you guys with confusion. So here we have the first line of code is our package, right? So we have our package we created earlier, com.module.base. Your class needs to be in a package. Okay? Now we have a public class. Remember, we made a class, and its name is main component. Okay? So everything that's inside of our public class main component is in between these two braces. Okay? So in our class, we wanted to put this method of public static void main. Right? We'll go more in depth in what all of this means here in front of the main when we get into methods and making our own methods. But for now, this right here is where your program starts. It is the beginning of your entire Java program. When you hit the play button, it goes here, and it executes all the lines of code in between these two braces. Right? So we're going to execute the line system.out.println game over, which goes to the system, your computer, and says we want to output, right? We want to get the out. What are we going to output? Well, we're going to print ln, which is print line. So what that means is going to print and then hit enter. Okay? And we need to tell it what we're going to print. So we give it a string object, which is in between quotes. We tell it to print game over. And then we end our line with a semicolon. The semicolon is the end command, so it's the end of the line. It tells the program to execute no further. This is done. Right? And then when it gets to the end of this method, after it's printed out, there is no more code for it, and the program ends. And we're left with our result of it printing out in the console, game over. And there you have it. That is your very first program in Java complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and see you next time.